Hi everybody, this is Game Show Guru, aka Gem Queen. I'm sorry if I haven't been on for a while. I've been sick like hell for a while. Plus winter makes me hibernate like a bear. So I want to discuss a really harsh topic to you people. Since this is the day that my mom died, I want to explain how much my mom abused me as a kid. She's abused me for 21 years. Physically, mentally, verbally, emotionally, psychologically, and sexually. My mom was such a monster. She never loved me. She never took care of me. She never supported me. She never raised me. I hate her for everything she's done. All the years that she abused me, the more I felt that the world was on her side more than mine. I feel hurt, betrayed, scared, terrified. It's hurtful to believe that a parent would do this to their child for so long and get away with it. All I'm trying to say is just I want people to understand what I went through. I'm not trying to, shove it down everyone's ass. I want people to understand what it means to be abused. I mentored kids for this a long time ago, but that's another story. My mom was the most heartless, worthless person I have ever been raised by or even been under in her womb. My mom was a drug addict. My mom was an alcoholic. Major drug addict, major alcoholics. She's forced drugs down my throat. She has forced alcohol down my throat. She has called me every dirty name in the book. She's called me everything I could ever believe. It's terrifying. 21 years, folks. 21 years. That's not how you treat your child. Not for 21 years. Not at all. Do you know how much counseling, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists that I've had to go through to recover because of what that monster of a mother I had did to me? It's terrifying. It's embarrassing. So many years that I've tried to literally, talk about this in groups or anywhere that I've even talked to on people online or anywhere. I feel like I feel like I get sick. I feel like I get physically sick and emotionally sick every time. Every time I pour my heart out to everything that my mom did. I hated everything she did to me. There's so much that she's done to make my life a living hell. Her drug problems, her alcohol problems, our living situations, our financial problems. My mom couldn't handle a job. She couldn't handle a steady boyfriend or husband. She couldn't do almost anything capable for herself. She wanted the whole world to rely on her for everything. An income, food, drink, cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, liquor, you name it. Even a car. Now that's embarrassing. Do you know how freaky it is to actually be around a parent that has done that for many years? It's frustrating. Having a cop stop you, being stopped by a police officer with a little kid when your mom is under DUI or DWI. Little kid, okay? Little kid. Being in the front seat of a car while your mom's under DUI while you're trying to keep yourself safe. And this has happened about 14 times in my life. 14 times when my mom was under DUI or DWI, under the influences of drugs and alcohol, driving. Me as a little girl, or a little boy. That's effed up and wrong. That's why I've been afraid to even be in a car. I still have nightmares, I still have memories of the worst car accident that I went through as a child. 4 years old in a 72 Dodge Valiant. Brakes were so worn out, just take a simple turn. We were going about a few miles above the speed limit. We dipped into a ditch. I got a concussion. I slammed my head right on the car roof. Then I flung right out the windshield at about 40 miles an hour. I slammed on my whole entire left side of my body, scraping the solid concrete and landing right on my left side of the, right on the ditch. I flung right through the windshield. There's still glass in my head. 4 years old, folks. 4 years old. I was in the hospital for about 3 months for surgeries, for lacerations, broken bones. My mom has tried to lunge a knife at me many times as a child. She wanted me dead. She's tried to turn me into a gigolo. She tried to make me be like her in every way. That's not how a parent is supposed to do their child for many years in their life. I don't know what to say. I suffered hell. I suffered hell with this psycho. My mom never gave me a chance. She wanted me out of the picture or turn her into herself. A drug addict, an alcoholic, and a person who sells themselves for money because the rest of the world is giving her the middle finger to not have a job. I mean, this is going to be painful. Painful for me to pour out as much as I can for you guys to understand how much I suffered. There's many things that my mom has done to me physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. When I was living in Seattle, Washington, when I was living in Los Angeles, when I was living in Dallas, and when I was living in Syracuse. There's a lot. There is a lot to talk about. I can't believe that my mom was a monster. There's times that she even had a little kid, me be about 3 or 4 years old, she's actually got me into sexual content. Excuse me. Yeah. She actually took me, to where she does her thing while I watched her get, if you get my drift, getting the little in and out, if you catch my drift, folks. It was awful. She's traumatized me in many ways. She never tried to make me become normal. I never had friends. I couldn't go to friends' houses because of what I had to go through. When I was living in Syracuse, I felt maybe a little bit more respect, very little. But ever since I got a stepfather, I think she just brainwashed him completely to know that I was a terrible person, which never was true. You know, I mean, I've got a mental disorder, but for all these years that I've had this mental disorder, it hasn't consumed me like every other person who has a mental disorder, where they're absolutely nuts or crazy or out of their mind. All the counselors, the psychiatrists, and the psychologists that I went through growing up, they never believed a damn word I said. They wanted me to blame myself for my mom doing drugs, alcohol, and prostitution. So many years, 17 years, that I had to go through all of that. Being on 7 different meds, all at dangerously high dosages, 3 times a day. It was embarrassing. And these pills were doing more damage to me than good. It was absolutely infuriating. The schools didn't care if I had a mental disorder. You know, when I was in Syracuse, they didn't care. You know, they just pushed me, they just threw me in class and just said, well, here you go, you're on your own. I had drill sergeants for teachers when I was in grade school. I had harsh teachers when I was in middle school and high school. I mean, at least in college, at least I had, respectful teachers and, maybe a girlfriend. That was the only best part. But there's many other things. Many other things that my monster of a mother has done to make my life a living hell. I wish people would understand how the hell I suffered this hell. I'm just tired of hearing it happened, it's over, it's done with, she's dead, you don't have to worry about it. That's not the point. The demon inside of her is still alive somewhere. And I had the rest of the world say that to my face after all these years. It's like you're taking her side more than you're taking mine. It's hurtful. It's embarrassing. It sounds like saying that I was the one that killed her, which I never did. I was in college when she was sick. In 2004, I don't know what day, she was diagnosed with cancer. And I don't care. I don't care about her. I'm glad she's dead. She got what was coming to her. Karma's a bitch. And she got what was coming to her after all these years. She's abused 2 kids in her family. She's abused my sister. She abused me. And she still hasn't learned. I'm going to make a few parts about this because I want the world to know what the hell I went through growing up as a child. This whole month is going to be dedicated to my abuse. So all I'm going to say right now is, respect this. Because I'm standing up for everyone who's been abused growing up as a child to this day. So I'm going to stop here with part 1. Check out part 2 sometime maybe this week or next week, okay? God bless everybody. Have a good day.